Hi, my name is Zac Johnson, and I work for Tread Global, Denver, Colorado. I have the fun job of helping inventors take product to market. Today, I'm going to kind of walk you through some of the steps that usually new inventors and anyone that wants to take a product to market or has invented something and wants to make it usable and more professional. So, a lot of people ask me, like, how do I get started? I have an invention, and usually my first question is like, well, have you made a prototype? Do you have a drawing of it? What are the main things you're trying to get a point um, across to the market? Is this something you want to sell, or do you have a hobby where it would just make it easier? We have had a lot of inventors create something for themselves, for their home business, and then realize more and more people want it. And that's the best way I tell my customers to go about it is find a problem that someone has been asking or wanting fixed. And then if you have a solution for it, that's the best and easiest way to get started. So people come with me, and like I mentioned previously, some of them just have a drawing of it. The one I'm going to walk through today and use as examples is a client of ours came to us, and they had a big farm. They grew a lot of their own fruits and vegetables and pickled them. They also made their own wine. And arts and craft projects. They used bottles to put sand in to make little art exhibits. So what we kind of call in the industry is the pain point, or what they wanted to overcome, is they were spending lots of time getting paper or marketing or stickers off of glass that they wanted to use for their thing, like bottles like this. It comes with emblems on it, and they want to reuse this bottle for something they're going to do. So this customer came with not only some drawings, but other tools that he had been using in cleaning up his bottles, and the hours it was taking him, where he really thought there had to be a better way. So he had just a simple kind of butter knife scraper thing that he was chipping away at these bottles. I'm sure anyone that can imagine how long that can take, and the chemicals you'd have to use and stuff like that. So that was his pain point, what he was wanting to overcome or thought there would be a market for. He knew he had other friends that worked on stuff similar to that for different jams he was going to preserve, and if he was going to take them to market or farmers markets. The cleaner the bottle, the better he thought things would sell. So he came with, again, the example of just the butter knife, and he's picking it. He had some drawings. He wanted it to fit in one hand where he could hold the bottle and scrape down. So after talking to the client back and forth, meeting, kind of getting a better idea of what he was looking for, we started by printing off some handles for him. First, we had some computer drawings and other different renders to kind of give him a better idea if he liked the look, the shape of it, thought it might work. Once we'd come to conclusion that was where he thought that would be something he could use, we printed it off. We utilize a lot of 3D printers here at Tread Global. We have a number of them in the office. Sometimes we have up to 6 we're working with that print different type of materials, really depending on what the product is we're looking to make for our customer. So this one, again, we just started with a handle, something that he wanted to make sure fit on a bunch of different bottles. As you can see, this kind of scrapes. But again, we were just testing the handle. You can spend any amount you want, depending on what you're designing. There's a lot of different ways to go about it. We work with a lot of clients that have a full-time job or in school, and so don't have a lot of working capital. So we try to keep it as cheap as possible, get them a good idea so we're not doing things a bunch of times. If we print this out, everything costs some money. So, we work with the customer to keep the pricing down. So once we decided we'd had a good handle, something we'd like, we added a metal part to it. Make sure it was flimsy enough that it would shape or fit different bottles. See, another glass bottle. a lot of round stuff. So we found this worked better. Even on square stuff, I'll show you like a finished product later that kind of bends better. So then we give this to the client. They hold on to it. Some people have investors or business partners. They want to show it around. And we will allow them because, again, we want to get the ideas out of our inventor's head into an actual product that they can take to market or be proud of and happy to use. So once we have that, this is kind of the prototyping stage. We got not a working prototype yet, but we know like this is going to work. At this time, we usually bring our factories into the process. Depending on the material, we like to kind of get an idea, if something like this, people maybe are going to spend $5, $10. If it costs us $100 to make, there's no profit. No one's going to take that to market. So always in the back of our mind, we're helping our clients, the inventor, kind of help build their business forecasts. Like, is it going to be too expensive to make? What is the market? How much do they think they would like to sell it for? This client really liked this. We got him some pricing. And let's say it was a couple dollars to make per piece to make 10,000. So we have the factory involved at this point. That's when we kind of got a working prototype, a manufactured thing. So we've made a mold. And this is actually one that you could buy in a store, a lot of online thing. So a little ahead of ourselves, here's the packaging and stuff. This is something you would send to like an Amazon, a Walmart, and your client or the client's customers would be buying directly from them. This is what comes to their home. But before we get to that process of making the packaging, let me open this up. And we have the working actual product. So again, you can see this is very similar to what we 3D printed in our shop. And then this is actually out of a mold. So this isn't 3D printed. This is a big machine. It goes down a line, hot plastics injected in, formed, and voila. So this, it's got the nice edge we talked about. So this is pretty much you're in market. You can cut. See how it just goes right through the paper. It takes the glue off right there. So again, before, we just make 10,000 of them, we want to make sure the customer's still really happy. Gave him this, gave him plenty of time to practice, work on it, give it to his friends, family, coworkers, to see that anyone, would pick it up, it makes sense to them. And at that point, once he signs off, he's in business. He or she, I should say. I keep saying he, this client happened to be a male, but we work with a lot of female inventors. Everyone has a great idea. It's really who wants to put in the work and really has that desire to see something through the whole way. Inventing something's never easy. Taking an idea and getting it all the way to a working prototype. So my company, we help with this. And some people, they'll just order these, take them and package them themselves. This customer, we helped with the package. We like to use as very little packaging as possible. We're a very green company. We like to cut down biodegradable materials. Anything we can recycle is our first thing. So again, we helped the customer design the packaging. So he gets it just like this. He'll get a box of 100 of these ready to go. And a good example, the first invention is always the hardest. Some people strike gold and, they stick with one invention. Most people, after that first one, they realize the work that's put into it, it becomes addictive. They're like, oh, I enjoy doing that. It was a passion. This client started making labels and stuff. So now people can look up his website. They can buy a bunch of bottles or use their own bottles and, reuse. Recycle, reuse, always important. And repurpose, I guess this would be repurposing and reusing. So again, people buy this, and now he's got a second thing, this, that can go in any home printer. So I could be making Zac's jams or art projects. You put this in the printer, gives you a little thing, design whatever you want to take to the farmer's market or sell to your neighbors, families, or a lot of people use these as gifts. I think my mom's favorite thing to do is make different desserts and put them in pretty jars and give them to her friends and families. Great birthday present, great gifts. So to recap, I know it kind of looked like a little commercial of the Labelnator here, but that was kind of the steps it goes through. Everyone has ideas. I'm sure while you've been stuck at home during these times, things you're playing with, using, working with, like, I wish it did this. I wish, it could do this or that. That idea, very simple, but it could be a whole business opportunity. The thing I love about my job is helping people realize their dreams. There's so much out there to help people and anything. Don't let anyone tell you, no, that's a bad idea. The market will do that. But if it's something you're going to use, you can be happy that you created something that's made your life easier or your friends and family. And we like to tell everyone that, like, everyone's got an idea. It's really, do you want to put the work into it to make it a successful product? But again, start with an idea. Drawings are a great thing. Get it down on paper. Write down some bullet points of what you think, what you want the finished product to be able to do. Draw it out. Now 3D printers are everywhere. Very easy to use. There's some great stuff, but you can make it out of household items like something like this. You could make the handle out of clay. You could cut up cardboard to just kind of feel like everyone's surrounded with trash that can be used to get that early stage working prototype. It doesn't have to look professional. Again, the important thing to remember is we're trying to get your invention or your idea out of your head down on paper. Once we have it paper, we can start working on it, shaping it, getting it to what you want. You're ultimately the expert at deciding exactly what you need in your invention, what you are wanting to take to market. And then, at that time, there can be different levels of prototype. The first one can be made out of clay. Then you bring it to us or a company like us. We help with that prototype, get it a little bit more professional looking to help you take it out there, really show other people your idea. And then we're there to help you through all those stages. And once you're ready to go to manufacturing, that's where the real fun begins. That's where it's going to take a little bit of money. But again, my name is Zac Johnson. I work for Tread Global here in Denver, Colorado. And I would be happy to help any of you answer any questions or help you take your invention to market. I know most of us have been stuck at home these months in this uncertain time, but no time better than when you're bored to think about ideas and dream about something big. There's many things out there left to be invented and worked with and taken to market or used personally. But again, please don't hesitate. Reach out with any questions or anything I can help with. Thanks. Bye.